Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, my R1200 is still fighting fit. It's coming into summer season, so it's about time to take it back out. But rather than taking it out for a ride today, I want to talk about security. We're looking at this system. It's the Datatag Security System. It comprises of RFID transponders, Datadots with DNA, and also some stealth UV etching. So I'm going to be installing this on the bike today, and as I go through how you install each of those elements of the security system, I'm going to talk you through how they work as well. So I want to make it clear that I've not read through any of these. I'm genuinely doing this. I haven't done any research or anything like that. I'm coming to this as you would. If you purchase this off the shelf, you've opened the box and away we go. Right, there are instructions for each element. Important, complete the Datatag registration as outlined on the registration card once the system is fitted, and it does say, for best results, install on a clean motorbike. Might look clean through that lens there, but trust me, it's not. So first thing I'm going to do is clean it down. Bike's clean, so first thing I'm going to do is take the seats off. The kit comes with little RFID tags. In fact, I've got one here. Can you see that? That tiny little thing there? It's absolutely minuscule. So that tiny little thing goes in the foam of the seat and also somewhere on the wiring harness. So I'm going to take the seat and the pannier seat off. The first one is going in the padding in the seat. If you look on the underside of the seat, a lot of it's quite plastic, but there are these little holes which expose the foam. So in the kit, Datatag give you this tool here, which looks a bit like a giant needle, and mighty sharp it is too, and this plunger. So pop the plunger inside there. Now there's a couple of different ways of putting the RFID tag in the bottom of the seat. You can, if I get the thing here, pop it in. Careful with that because it is really sharp. You can either keep it in there and keep your finger over the top, because as you turn it, guess what? It's going to fall out, and there's lots of nooks and crannies on bikes. Pop that inside there and then push your plunger in and withdraw. All done. Or what you could have done is put the needle in the seat already, then get the RFID tag and put it in there, and then push your plunger in behind it and then withdraw. That's out, and in there now is a little RFID tag. Pretty much the same way as, you know, having the little microchip under your pet's skin. It's never going to bother them, you're never going to feel the tag. Most importantly, you're never going to find it, nor is anybody else, apart from the police, when they put their magic wand over it. Now the other tag, I'm going to hide in the wiring harness. Now, the wiring harness on the bike, there's plenty of it exposed around here, but rather than go for there, which is quite obvious and easy, I'm going to go underneath this panel here. Now your bike's obviously going to be different, but on mine, this panel underneath here, this is where all the alarm system is for the R1200, and there's quite a bit of wiring under here. So I'm going to take this panel off and put that in there, and while it's off, I can also put some UV etching and some Datadots on there as well. Obviously you don't need to go as extreme as this, as taking your bike apart. I want to though, because if I spend just an extra couple of minutes doing this, one, it's a good excuse to check the bike and make sure everything's as it should be, still nice and tight. But also, if your bike does get stolen, chances are it's going to get broken up. It's far easier to sell bike parts than an entire stolen bike. I want to put this system on as many parts of my bike as possible, because I was talking to Datatag, and they had a story recently where a fella bought a exhaust off eBay, thought it didn't look right, went down to the police station, they scanned it, and sure enough it came up with some Datatag dots on there. So one, he lost his exhaust, he got his money back through eBay, but the police were able to trace where that part came from, and they raided where it had come from. It had come from a warehouse, and it was full of motorbike parts. and there was about 10 bikes lined up waiting to be dismantled. And when I say warehouse, I do mean warehouse, you know, Amazon size warehouse, full of parts. And because of Datatag, that whole operation got shut down. So think of it this way, you're not just protecting your bike, potentially protecting someone else's. Who knows? My bike could get stolen, end up in the same scenario, and if it stopped 10 other bikes getting broken and people getting the bits and pieces back, I'd be quite happy. At the end of the day, insurance can replace the bike, but if it can go some way to stopping the crooks, that'd be even better. This is exactly what I wanted to get to. If I go and get the GoPro, there are lots of wires around by here which run underneath here, they come out over here, and then you've got the loom going all the way back to this unit here. So there's plenty of wires around here that I can hide this little RFID tag. You don't use the needle, you don't want to be putting your needle into your wiring harness, do you now? So instead of doing that, I'm not using the sharp end, I'm just using the blunt end here, just to encourage this away. And that's it. RFID tags installed. So next in the kit, we're keeping with the RFIDs. These are RFID stickers, same principle as those little glass capsules, but these stick on somewhere. So I'm going to find somewhere quite clever for these to live. I want to put them, rather than on a panel that can be removed, I want to put these actually on a panel that is fairly integral to the bike. So for this, I'm going to start looking at the fairing, taking that off, maybe on the inside of the airbox. Time to take a bit more apart. This is one RFID tag, quite long, quite big. So that I'm going to hide on the top of the airbox in there. Before I use that, I'm going to clean it using the alcohol wipe, which is provided in the kit, to give the surface a really thorough clean and to give this RFID tag its best possible chance of sticking and staying there. So it's a bit fiddly. I could take this top piece off, but I can't be bothered. You on there? There we are, that's another one hidden away. The second RFID, it doesn't really look anything more than like those sticky pads, you know, the sticky foam double pads that you get. That's what it looks like. Unstick this, and he is going on the inside. So that's all my RFID units put in now. I've got one transponder in the seat, one hidden on the wiring loom. I've got one hidden somewhere in this area here. I can't even remember where I put it. I think it's on top of the airbox, and now I've got another one hidden down here. But looking at the bike, you can't see that there's anything on there. This is possibly the most exciting and satisfying part of the whole process. These here are, whilst it may look like my child's Christmas list, these are stencils. If you can see that, let me just, is that there? These stencils I'm going to apply to the bike in different places, and then there's a UV ink that you rub over the top of it, and effectively it's almost like a tattoo on the bike, an invisible tattoo on the bike, and then as you get UV light and shine over it, this becomes visible, otherwise completely invisible, much like the rest of the system. So these, 8 of them, they can only be used once. Let's find some places to put them, and it does say try not to put them on upward facing areas or areas like fairing and so forth, as it might affect the paint. Try and put it in downward facing areas, such as on the beam, on the frame and so forth. So let's mark up some places, shall we? I am going to put one here. Okay, I know that seems a bit daft to put it there, but I'm going to put one there, as this is going to be the first one I do. So this can sort of help me get my eye in, as it were, but also this is a lovely secluded space. Here we go. Ooh, satisfying. Place that. There we are. First one's on, 7 to go. All you do once you've applied these is you get this fella here, that tiny little glass pipette there is a UV fluid, so hopefully, ooh, can you see that? So that glows. So we're going to use this now and put that across the stencils using this applicator, which looks like a COVID-19 test kit. You just wipe it across, and then effectively that, which looks invisible, will be invisible on the bike. And then if you shine this UV light on it, you'll be able to see the Datatag code, which is linked to my account on Datatag website. I can get all my bike and bits back. And it can be removed after 45 seconds. Yeah, that'll do. Right, here we go. Ready? All right, perfect. So, it did say in the instructions not to be worried if you can see it immediately. It'll fade over time, but wow, that's really impressive. I don't know if you can see that on there. Let me pull this up closer, seeing as you got there. So you can see it there, which is going to fade, but if I put this UV light over there, you can see how prominent that is. That's fantastic. If you put it on anywhere and it's a bit too prominent, you can use car polish to take some of the edge off, which makes it a little bit less visible. That's it, all done. That's perfect. You look in there, don't look like there's anything. Out of nowhere comes, take it away, you can't see a thing. And all of a sudden, there's a unique code and the telephone number. So I've applied the UV etching. The RFID tags are on. The last thing to go on are the Datadots. So there's hundreds of little Datadots in this. I'm literally going to go around dotting as much of this as possible. This has got a unique DNA in there and special tools that the police have got to be able to identify. So even if this bike is stripped, if there's any of this on there, they'll be able to identify it back to this bike, back to me. They'll be able to trace it back to whoever broke this bike apart or whoever stole it in the first place. Let's get these on. Make sure you put these Datadots on as many parts as possible, things like levers, the top of your suspension, on the electrics, and when you do, dob, don't smear. So just dob it on, don't smear it on. They are smothered all over there now. What I'm going to do now is start putting the bike back together, and every component that I put back on the bike, I'm going to use some of these Datadots on there. Put the last of my Datatag. There we are. That's it. All done. One Datatag install complete. It's as easy as it looks as what you've just watched in this video. Literally putting stencils on, wiping the UV liquid over the top, literally getting the Datadots and dotting them on the bike, and popping the RFID tags either in your wiring loom or under your seats. But there is one thing left, and it is the most important part of the system, almost. It's this tiny little domed sticker. Now you might be looking and going, why is the sticker so important? This tells thieves that this bike is laced with Datatag Security System. That's a deterrent. Why risk it? It's not worth it. There is one more thing more important than this, and that is registering the system. Now, if you've watched this and bought a Datatag system, then there's a link underneath this video where you can go to register your system. Equally, if you bought a bike and it's got that on there, you can go onto the Datatag website and update the details. That's really important to do, because if you don't do it effectively, Datatag is still going to contact the old owner, whether they're still going to be in touch with you or not. So make sure you put this on and make sure you register it and make sure you update the details. If you are interested in the system, there's loads of information on the Datatag website. You can also save some money. If you use the code OURTIM, OURTIM, on the Datatag website, you'll get some money off your system as well. And of course, you can watch this back and forth for installing your system. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments, I'll try and answer them, but really the experts are Datatag, so get in touch with those guys, and if you see them at a show, go and see them. Really, really friendly guys. That's the reason why I bought it, is because I trusted everything they said and they were so friendly. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, underneath this video you'll find a thumbs up. Hit that, that really helps the channel grow, and also you'll find a subscribe button. Hit that, you'll get a new video from me every week. If you'd like to see more bike content on the channel, please do let me know in the comments below, and also by hitting that like button. That really helps me develop content, to create content that you can all enjoy. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. That just looks like it's wet. It's not really what I wanted.